Good morning, Mega Momentum.
What's up?
Morning,
What's up?
everybody. What's up? What's up?
Does everybody get as hyped as I do with that song for some reason? I've only heard it like.
I know. I'm
It's
sitting there
like-
waiting for the show to start, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm getting ready to rock and roll. Yeah, we chose that music for a reason. It's
I like it, man. I like it, I had no saying that. It came on board in the package. I was like, okay, I like it. It's good to go. So cold shower, that music, and coffee is what my morning does.
cold shower, that music, and your coffee. Eh? All right, there you go.
Cold showers are the way. I'm telling you guys, cold showers are the way. I don't know if you guys do it. I couldn't even tell you the last time I've taken a hot or warm shower, and we do have an amazing guest probably next week. Brian Calhoun is going to Cohan is going to come on, and he's I wouldn't say he's the reason, but I'll tell you he's an amazing guy in Arizona, I believe. And you guys probably heard us talk about him a lot, but he's all about his Facebook group, man. Dustin, you got to join if you haven't seen it. It's like Fire and Ice or some shit like that.
Yeah.
On Facebook. It's a biohacking group. Good stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, now that you mentioned it on the show, why don't you grab the link and then
Right. He'll be on to promote it too and talk about it. So and I think we got him secured next week, guys.
You know, the cold shower thing, man. Like I get cold showers every once in a while here, but it's not by intention. It's because the wind blows out the boiler. So, I'm out in the middle of the jungle, so they actually have their boiler sitting outside, and the wind will blow out the burner on the boiler, so I get a cold shower. And it's not that cold either because it's basically ground temperature and it ain't that cold, so it's not that bad.
True, it's freezing here. I'll tell you. They in the group, man, they talk about, I know we get off topic, this is always a fun topic. Good morning, by the way, guys.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. But today, just before we get into a little bit more of a discussion while we're waiting everybody to wake up and join in, we're actually we're going to be chatting a little bit about getting listings in a seller's market. We're actually going to be doing an event towards the end of the month with a panel of badass agents that are all hyper-selling agents that have thrived in a seller's market. During a pandemic, we're going to be interviewing them and grabbing all of their secret sauce so that you can be putting that into your business and implementing that as we speak today so that you can make a difference in your business. We're going to do that towards the end of the month. Today is an open day, so why don't you comment below, say good morning. If you want to pop on the show, just message us and we will give you the link and you can come on the show and you can say, hey, what's up? Have a discussion with us. If you have a question about getting listings in a seller's market, just pop into the comments and we will chat about it.
Yeah, man. What's been going on, Dustin? I know the real estate world's been an interesting time lately. I know talking to a lot of agents, and you mentioned, I wonder if I guess that's a bad word, but talking about these agents or meeting with these people as of late that are crushing it during the pandemic, and I know some agents, and not all agents are crushing it, man. Some are struggling. So it's like that's what guys, that's what we're doing here. We're having this, mega momentum morning, building momentum, building mindset. Dustin and I have been talking a lot about, having these days where we talk about specific niches like Mindset Mondays. It's a huge part, so if we can help you guys with that at all, this is the time. Put in the comments section. Let's talk. If you want to get on live, post in the comments. We'll send you a link to get on with us.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to come on the show, come on. Let's party. Let's have some fun. Let's have a discussion. Yeah, you're right, Anthony. We coach a lot of agents, right? And it's interesting because we coach a lot of agents from all over North America. So we've got people that are in the middle of a market right now that only has like 2 weeks of inventory, and a balanced market is more like 3 to 4 months, 2 to 3 months of inventory, right? Right now, they've only got 2 weeks. That literally means, for those of you who are paying attention that may not know, that means that we'll sell every single home that's on the MLS right now within 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. That's insane. That's such a low level of inventory. So obviously, there's less listings for everybody to fight over, right? So who's getting all the damn listings? And then that's in some markets, like my old primary operating territory, Ontario. It's 2 to 3 weeks of inventory. It's crazy. And then I was talking to somebody else in Texas, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it's a seller's market. We've got 2 months of inventory." I'm like, "Yeah, you're not a seller. Well, you are a seller's market compared to a balanced market, sure, but it's not as tight yet as where it's trending." And talking to people in Georgia, talking to people in Cali, talking to people in Canada. I think Mexico's the only place that actually is the opposite. It's a bit of a buyer's market, or a lot of a buyer's market. But in North America and Canada and US, it's trending towards a heavy seller's market. So if you're not in a seller's market right now, watch your statistics. Watch what's going on with your board. Your board stats will tell you exactly what's happening. You're going to see. You're likely going to see. This is what we're seeing as a trend, that you might, even if it's a little bit balanced right now, it's trending towards seller, and it's moving at a rapid pace.
Yep.
You know, we were talking to David. Remember, Anthony? We were talking to David about his market turning into a seller's market, and he went from 2 months of inventory down to a month of inventory within about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yes.
And that's dramatic. That's a dramatic shift in the marketplace, going to a seller's market, and so a lot of people are dealing with that. And for people that are in a seller's market, that have been in a seller's market for the last, say, 6 months or a year, or even up to not a couple of years. It really started at the beginning of last year ish. The majority of agents out there, about 90-ish% of the agents out there, have seen about a 30 to 40% decrease in business.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, we're all seeing the stats. We're having record years. So who the hell is getting all the listings? Right. And so, like, we get this question all the time from agents that are like, who's getting all the listings? You know, all the there's listings happening. They're selling like crazy. We're having record years, record volumes. And we're also seeing decreases in the majority of agents' business. So who's eating all the cheddar?
I'll tell you, man, it is interesting because, like, you know, I know New Orleans real estate market inside and out. A lot of agents that I coach up and kind of work with, that I brought into the company there, they don't take a lot of listings, okay? And it's really interesting to me because people are, you know, when I hear all the time, I hear, oh, you know, listings are selling, I can't take listings. I mean, it comes down to putting in the work. I mean, you literally have to put in the work, but it's a focused effort, man. And I'll tell you, Dustin, I know what it is. People run around, you know, because they want to feel busy, and it is staying laser focused. These guys that we've talked to and gals who are mega agents and crushing it, doing 100 million in volume, they're focused. They have systems.
That's
Gary
right.
Keller posted a quote, and I can't remember this morning specifically, but he said it. It's systems. It's pure systems in place, knowing what to do. Even with great systems, though, I'll tell you, this is a challenging market, guys. You know, real estate's seasonal. Hello. If you've been in the market for less than 6 months or a year, write this down. Real estate is seasonal. It goes through cycles. It goes through waves. You know, for example, like with my transition, I've moved over to Hot Springs, Arkansas. You know, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. I'm gonna go look at another market, start digging into the data. It's gonna be fucking chaos. It's homes to sell, and you know what? It's actually not.
Yeah.
You know, they got a parcel of land called Hot Springs Village out here, man. It's the biggest gated community in the entire country. It's
right.
40 miles gated, 386 homes on the market right now. It's a city. Don't get me wrong. Okay, it's big, but you know, that's a lot of inventory compared to where we're seeing in other markets. So, you know, knowing, guys, going in, digging into the data, knowing what you're doing, knowing what you're looking for, and being purposeful. Those systems are huge.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, Anthony,
sure.
because I think that some people listening right now might be like, oh, okay, so I need systems.
Yep.
No, what Anthony's talking about, the people that are thriving right now in a challenging environment already have the systems in place.
Correct.
They have the systems in place. They're already dialed in. They have their pipeline established. They have their relationship marketing established. They have everything that they need to be able to take people into their business, into their pipeline, serve them, and execute on a trade. And they've been doing it for a little while.
Yeah, it's second nature now.
Yeah. So there's a big. I hate to go into a negative, but there is a big mistake that a lot of agents are making in a challenging environment. They didn't put the systems in place before, so now they're looking for the magic bean that's actually going to save their business, right? So there's a couple of different scenarios here that we're seeing as far as when we're coaching agents. Agents that are the badass agents that are rocking and rolling right now during a pandemic, they already have the systems in place. They have a referral-based business. It's all relationship-focused. They have a steady pipeline of new business coming in. They're good marketers, right? They're good marketers, and they're really good at managing their relationships with their database. So that system is already in place. If you don't have that system in place right now, if you're a single agent and you don't have that system in place, or maybe you're a small team right now and you don't have that system in place yet, now is not the time to try to figure out how to build that system during a pandemic. What's actually working for people that don't have that relationship-based system in place is actually old school.
Yep.
We're seeing one of these. You're either got the systems already in place and you're rocking out a nice pipeline, or they are going old school, like full on door knocking, cold calling. They're prospecting like mad, right? That's what's winning. So it's either they already have a relationship built, and they got the referrals coming in like crazy, or they're just outworking their competition and getting their ass in front of as many people as possible talking about real estate. Those are the two success stories that I'm seeing as far as listing agents. Obviously, there's another component in being more polished and having your videos or doing videos with your listings and being able to use your just solds and penetrating the marketplace with your marketing and things like that. But that's pretty much a standard what agents should be doing on every single listing and doing every single month into their marketing, right?
I'll tell you what I recommend for any agent, new or old. Okay, there's a personality profile that you need to know about yourself. Yeah. You need to know who you are, guys, and you can see your weaknesses and your strengths. Excuse me. There's an amazing tool called the DISC assessment. Yeah. If you haven't heard of the DISC assessment, you need to go comment below right now. Here, I will send you a link to take a free DISC assessment with us. Okay, guys? And what this does, it gives you the knowledge of who you are and what you do, because Dustin just said it. An agent wakes up and goes, holy shit, I need systems. I don't have any systems. And then you spend 2-3 weeks creating systems that's, let's be honest, if you're a high S and a high C and you create these stellar systems, and guess what? You won't implement them. If you're lacking the D or I, you just won't even do it. Or someone like me, I'm a high I, high D. I just go, burn, and I never really create the systems. And guys, I want you to don't overthink the system either. Know who you are, know what your weaknesses are, and don't overthink the system. You know what's the simplest system out there? Schedule. And I actually put that. I do a six schedule. If you get a notebook, okay. I had one of my agents call me last night. She goes, Anthony, I sat in this class, and I said, great. And I said, what did they take? She goes, they told me a notebook. And I was like, a notebook, really? She goes, yeah, they told me a notebook. Write all your leads in there and follow them with a notebook. I'm like, yeah, done. And I'm like, hey, guess what? And she goes, what? I said, I've been having a notebook. I got a stack of 15 notebooks right here. I literally will go, when I am bored, we'll pull a notebook from and flip through and holy shit, that's right. I do. Look, you said it, man. Old school notebook. A daily planner. You put this shit in there. Phone calls at 8, follow up at 9. This at 10. Yeah. It all. I mean, systems and schedule. But dude, if you overthink it, man. If you overthink
that's so key. There's two things that you just said there that we need to talk about right now. Okay. First off, when we say systems, it doesn't mean a complicated ass system.
Oh no, and that's what, dude, Dustin. But the thing about it, dude,
a lot of people make is like, oh, I need systems, so I need this workflow, and I need this and this tool, and I got to do this subscription.
You need to know, but you need to know if you're that person. Like that's why, guys, I'm telling you, I'm giving you a free DISC assessment. Comment below. I will go on YouTube, comment on Facebook. I'll send you a link, a free DISC assessment, because you have to know that. Because look, I'm telling you, if you're a high SC, you don't even see that what you're doing, and I wouldn't say wrong. It's not the wrong way, but you got to see, oh shit, okay, I do need to hold back, because those people who are very steady and consistent, they like creating systems. Yeah. But then they made themselves feel busy.
Yeah, they don't actually do action-oriented tasks that get them in front of customers actually convert. You said that that we're in a seasonal business, right? So yeah. Right, just good job, Erica. All right, we'll send you the link for sure. So we're in a seasonal business. So let me ask you a question. When is the very, very best time to develop systems in your business?
I'll tell you, man, nighttime.
It's off season, man. It's off season.
Even then, though, man, Dustin, I know we were talking about this the other day on a coaching call. You said something about off season, and I'll tell you, I struggle with off season because I'll tell you, man, I've never really seen when I was selling. I've never really seen an off season. You know why? I was always lead generating. Like you mentioned, I think when you had made that comment, I don't know if we were on a coaching call or if it was on this, but you said, oh, like October, November, and that's when we see it, man, when people are like going into that holiday season. Yeah. I'll tell you, a secret about my business, December was always my strongest month. Always. Yep. I mean, and people are like, I never forget a seller. One time I was calling expireds, and they were like, Anthony, but nobody buys a house during Christmas time. I'm like, what? I got 17 pending right now.
I sold homes on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but it's interesting, dude. Is that December would be January would be my worst. You know why?
Okay, so we keep on like segueing into awesome topics.
Yeah, we do. We don't.
What you're talking about right now is your business model changes with your seasonality, right?
Absolutely.
So when it's springtime in most markets, it's incredibly busy. So your prospecting time gets diminished because you have so many appointments and things that you have to do, right? So, but you always need to be making sure that you're spending at least a little bit of time prospecting, because in the traditional low season for most agents, you're not going to make any money if you're not prospecting when you're busy, right? And then vice versa, in your off season or low season where it's traditionally lower in volumes, that's when your business model changes and you're not doing as many appointments, you're doing a crap ton more prospecting. Right? So this is a seasonal change in your business model and your mindset and the amount of effort and where you focus your time inside your business based on the seasonality, right? But one of the things that I like to do is I also like to work on the business in the off season, because you're not juggling 15 clients. You're not trying to, manage so many different offers and things like that. Yes, you're prospecting like crazy, but you got a little bit of extra time. So I like to do that, because if you're spending 2 or 3 hours on your business during the hot market, you're not making as much money.
It's so true, man. It's interesting you say that, because I've been like, I was like, when you were saying, I'm like, man, Dustin, I kind of disagree, but I don't, because I'll tell you what happened with me, man. I was a prospecting machine. Again, I want to reiterate, guys, you know what this means. Maybe we'll do an entire show, or maybe we'll do a coaching call on this, but I'm a high I, high D. Okay. Mm-hmm. And my coach at one time, she's like, Anthony, you need to stop prospecting. And I'm like, well, no. What do you mean? No. You told me prospect 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. I got to make my 40, 50, 100 contacts. She's like, Anthony, you got 38 listings. You have a buyer pool of 75. Go sell some damn houses. And I'll tell you, that's where a person like me, I get so that high D, I get so pushed towards that goal. I don't even look at the money. I'll tell you, thinking about unpacking all this, your goal should be the fastest path to 50. Okay, whatever that looks like. Because once you get to 50, you create leverage. Because I'll tell you, as well as I did in real estate, I was probably one of the worst real estate agents ever. Because if it wasn't for my support team, my admins, I wouldn't even been functioning. And my executive assistant at the time, she's like, Anthony, you're horrible at this. I'm like, I'd take the listing and I would almost not do anything. I mean, I'd follow up with them every now and then, but it was really kind of good and bad in a way. Stuff was selling, but I was losing that personal touch in my business too. So I had to draw back, because I was just like, I mean, I tell you, man, it was a sport. That's all it was to me. Absolutely. And I was like, 36 listings right now, and 20, 40 contacts. And there's a shift. You have to have people in place that say, Anthony, stop. Dustin,
now, here's the thing. Let's go back to your disc assessment discussion we were talking about, right? So, you don't necessarily need somebody to tell you to stop. You just need people that are around you that are actually good at the stuff that you're not good at.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you're a high, like I'm a double D, man. I'm a big boob, man.
That's a good way to make
I'm just like I'm just off the charts on the D side, right? So I'm a driver, right? But I need the S and the C, or else things don't get done, right? So I'm a big thinker. I'm able to drive and operate at an executive level, but if I don't have all the different pieces in place, things fall short, right? So if you're a hyper seller, then lean into what you're really good at. Like Anthony was just saying that's what he did. He was prospecting, landing listing after listing and buyer contract after buyer contract. But he needed the steps, he needed the people and the resources in place to be able to execute on a great customer service experience, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just part of your business. Like if you're a really good administrator, well, you're going to need to tap into some way to drive sales, right? You might be a really good administrator, might make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, but you might not sell a damn thing.
But you can be that, man. Look, that's the beauty of real estate business, guys. Yeah. You have a strength, play to your strength. If you're the worst real estate agent out there, I mean, the worst salesperson, but yet you have this, creativity, this mindset, these systems that you could put in place to help people, you never have to sell a damn house. I'll never forget a mega agent I knew in Washington, never sold homes. She literally started her team with 9 agents, start from the ground. I mean, like from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. And typically in theory, you're like, no, you don't do it that way. But she did. Never sold a house, never did anything like that, and crushed it. I mean, absolutely crushed it. But she had the people in place. She had a staff in place for them. And she brought on 9 agents almost instantly just from that alone. And you can. Okay, I know a lot of times we get caught up in, everybody, oh man, this person sold 100 homes, I'm going to go follow them. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'll tell you, if it's me by myself, I've ran this team, the Homes and City team, by myself as the leader, the everything. You didn't want to work for me then. You didn't. Yeah, you didn't. It's like, I was being honest, you didn't. Because, I mean, can I motivate you? Absolutely, but you're like, the systems and things weren't there. Yeah. And speaking of that, we'll have one of them guys on. Brian Maurice is going to jump on next week. He was my pretty much my first and main Homes and City at that time agent in New Orleans, and maybe he'll break that down a little bit for us.
Right on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those of you listening in, feel free to comment below. If you actually want to pop on and say, hey, what's up? Come on to the show. But comment below. If you got questions about nailing listings in a seller's market, comment below. I also want to make sure that you guys are aware that we are going to be doing a panel towards the end of the month. We're going to be bringing on some mega agents to share their secret sauce with you so that you can implement into your business technologies, systems, techniques, so that you can become a dominant listing agent in a seller's market, right? So make sure that why don't you put listings below in the comments so that we know that we can share that link with you and invite you to that channel, to that event.
That's going to be a good one, man. We got some exciting people we've been talking to. And again, everybody wants to get, listings or has to get listings right now to survive, I should say. And it's just hearing from these people and having great Q&A sessions with them, I think will be helpful for everybody. I really do.
I do too. Like it's interesting because some people are like, I really love buyers. I'm like, okay, so in a seller's market, I'll tell you the buyer situation in a heavy seller's market. So you might not be there yet, but if your market's going in that direction, you need to be cognizant of exactly what your business is going to look like in a short period of time. So in a heavy seller's market, there's low inventory. When there's low inventory, price points are going up, right? Especially with low interest rates. You've got buyers that are coming to the table and saying, I want to buy a property. There's a couple of different challenges you're dealing with. First off, you're dealing with a copious amount of multiple offers, right? So in my territory back in Ontario, or one of my territories back in Ontario, we were seeing anywhere from, if we got 4 offers on a property, that's light, right? We would get 15, 20, 30 different offers going on a property. Properties would go over 100,000. We had a property go over $250,000 over asking price, and it was priced accurately. Okay, it's a shit show, right? Like for example, in the balanced market, I can predict the sales price within $1,000, right? In a seller's market, it's an auction. Yeah. It's an auction. Okay,
but so that's the shift.
It's a shift. You also have, multiple offer situation. Awesome. You have holding offers, and you've got people say, we're going to hold offers, and then they don't hold offers, and all kinds of crap like that, right? Then you also have your buyers getting priced out of the marketplace. They might be able to afford it today, but in 15 days, they won't be able to afford it, right? Because it's changing that rapidly. The prices are going that fast, right? So you're going to be dealing with buyer fatigue and all that kind of good stuff, which is awesome. And so it becomes a very challenging environment to be able to serve your buyer clients. The other thing is that buyer leads are a dime a dozen, like literally a dime a dozen. Like you spend a $2 or $3 and you get in 20, 30 leads, right? It's insane. And the problem is that they're so early in the buying cycle that these leads, because they're easy to generate, you get them on Facebook. Guys, if you guys, you probably noticed this, you're probably getting emails and phone calls and all kinds of different things from agencies all over the planet saying, hey, I can get you leads. Why? Because it's freaking easy. It's easy to get leads, right? You can have a database. Let's put it this way. I put 10,000 leads in my database in 6 months last year, and I only spent a few $1,000s.
And they're all buyer leads, right? I mean, look, right? We have what we're coaching up on, in Mega Momentum coaching right now with the Instagram method that I put into place. Yeah. We're coaching these guys up on hundreds, if not thousands. Brian Maurice, who will be on probably next week on the call or the following week, he'll tell you. He actually, in New Orleans, our Homes for Sale, NOLA Instagram account, he told me turn it off. He literally said, Anthony, turn it off. I'm like, man, what do you mean? And back to I'm in the zone. Creating buyer leads. He's like, it just does me no good. These people, it's a complete waste of time. I'm going to go stick to my sphere of influence. I'm going to crush it like this. And he does. This guy, dude, the guy we're going to have on, guys, he was a school teacher making $40,000 a year. He now averages between $200,000 and $300,000 a year in real estate. He's been in less than 3 years.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't focus on buyers for those buyer agents that just love buyers, right? I'm just telling you that your business model has to change because, let's put it this way. Like if you get buyer leads, which are super cheap and easy, they're so early in the buying cycle that they're just getting to the pretty pictures and prices stage. They're just getting to the point where they're thinking, okay, let me just check to see if what I'm thinking of doing is actually out there. You get 100 leads and you're still looking at a 3 to 4% conversion, but you've got to call those people 8 to 15 times in order for you to execute on that conversion. Do you know how much time that is? Do you know how much time that is? I guarantee you this, right? Unless you're a phone monkey and you're just really good at hitting the phones like a grinder, and it's rare to actually have that. And even those people get tired of these kinds of leads because they're so much effort and time to put into it. Your return on time is incredibly low. So the people that are winning right now. So Anthony, let's talk about who is winning getting listings right now. These are people that are doing relationship marketing. These are people that are doing sphere of influence. Yep. Those are the people that are generating the most listings. Those are the people that are eating all the cheddar, while other agents are struggling and saying, where's all the listings? Where's all my business? And I hate buyers right now because it's stuck, right? So, I can't get listings because there's no listings out there and I don't have a pipeline of new listing business coming in. The people that are winning right now have focused on relationships with sphere of influence and getting referrals.
Yeah, and that's part of the system model. And guys, that's how, if you haven't taken a second to get your notebook, okay, like we talked about earlier, and write down across the top, what are my systems? What are my tools? And that's part of it. I think people get very caught up on the system part, but it's really that simple. What are these things? With sphere of influence, buyers, sellers, listings, what's the processes? How does it work? And it's really that simple. It really is. It really is that simple.
Take a look at when you look at your business as a whole, holistically, look at your business, think of it like lean manufacturing, right? Lean manufacturing is just an assembly line process. Yep. And for what we are doing in sales is the same thing as building a car. You've got supply coming in, you've got processes and systems that manufacture something and you output a product. Yep. It's exactly the same thing in real estate sales. You have a pipeline of leads coming in, systems and processes to help those people, qualify those people, determine whether or not they are qualified to work with you, all that kind of stuff, and then you execute on a sale, and then you have a post-production process. So it's exactly the same thing. So when you're taking a look at your lean manufacturing process, your assembly line for real estate sales, when you got to look at see where your bottlenecks are. I was talking to an agent the other day and she's like, I'm quitting the industry. I'm like, why would you do that? She's like, well, she's like, it's I'm not making any money. I'm like, okay, so where's your bottleneck? She goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay, so where are you failing to make this the next step in the process? At what point in time are you hitting the wall? She's like, well, I get leads, no problem. Okay, leads, great. That's a challenge by itself. So you got leads coming in. You're taking them out to see properties, right? She goes, yeah, I'm taking out to see properties. Okay, great. And then what happens? She goes, then they disappear. I'm like, that's interesting. So you just noticed a bottleneck in your process. You just noticed that there is a missing system that is not allowing you to get to the next step.
Yep.
Right. And for her, it's really just about qualifying the people properly, setting systems in place and setting expectations with buyers and putting them under a buyer contract. She's a professional door opener. Right. As soon as she learns the sales process of actually landing a buyer contract and setting expectations to the buyer clients, she's able to then move to the next level. Right. But if you take a look at your entire business and say, okay, let's look at listings. I don't get any listings. Where's all my listings coming from? Look at your business. Do you have a pipeline? Do you have a system to generate listing leads? Do you have a system that has a pre-listing email? Do you have a listing presentation? Do you have a post-listing process? What systems do you have in place that sets you up as a professional that will actually land you more listings?
Yep.
Right? And if you can look at your business from a holistic top down, look at your business and say, where am I failing? This isn't a bad thing. This is self-analysis. You need to be accountable to your own business because no one's going to fix it for you. No. Right? But if you can figure out those bottlenecks, you can put a system in place to solve that problem. And that's what systems do. And they don't have to be complicated. It just needs to be a simple thing that solves that particular problem in your assembly line.
And you know what that simple thing is? You said the word about 100 times just now. Business.
Business.
People do not treat this like it's a business.
That's right.
Tony DeSello, and if you guys hear me speak, I repeat names 1,000 times because I like doing it. It resonates with. But Tony DeSello, one of the best real estate coaches I've ever been involved with, you know, he said you're not in real estate. You're in it. You're in business. You know, Gary Keller says it time and time again. And I'll tell you, what people don't do, Dustin?
What's that?
They don't do a quarterly review.
Oh, it's
on this call right now, if we got 20, 30 agents, how many of you guys did a quarterly review?
You know what's interesting, Anthony? I ask this to agents all the time. How much gross revenue did you make last year? I don't know.
No idea.
Right? If you don't know your cash flow, like what were your expenses last year? What was your cost of sale?
But think about this, Dustin. But it's back to the problem of the business side. I mean, look, if you got a brick and mortar business down the street, you're running a McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. I mean, if you got a Chick-fil-A, you know to the penny what a pickle costs.
That's
okay?
Right.
Guys, I did a lot of business with I was blown away. Go watch Marcus Leota, Gordon Ramsay, some of these shows, okay? The Prophet, Hell's Kitchen, whatever it is. Learning lesson. These suckers know what a squirt of mustard costs for a burger, okay? Yeah. And if you don't know that in your business, okay, you got to start thinking about that. Because right now, prime example, if you're working with 25 buyers, 10 buyers, 5 buyers, and you're showing those buyers 30 minutes this way, 30 minutes that way, and you track your time, okay? Exactly. I mean, and you guys, look, this is a dollar analysis. I mean, and you know what's an eye-opening experience for me? This is years ago. I'd have to do a quarterly business review with my coach. And it would be how many for sale by owners you took, what's your source of income, it would break it down, 4 or 5 pages worth of shit. It was a pain in the ass to do, I'm not even going to lie. But I remember one year, and I think it was like a second quarter of the year, I listed and sold 1 for sale by owner. If you'd have asked me prior to that quarterly review, man, I crushed for sale by owners. I listed 10 or 20 of them. Right. 1. And dude, yet I would spend an hour a day for 4 freaking months calling for sale by,
Your return on time is abysmal.
And I'm like, okay, pivot. What am I doing wrong? But guys, if you're not doing that in your business, okay, and right now, Dustin nailed it earlier. This is not the time to do this.
No.
Okay? It's not the time to do this.
No. So solving a problem right now, if you want more listings right now, and you don't have a systematic approach to landing listings and taking new listings and a pipeline and a process and all that, the only way that you're going to thrive in a seller's market, if you're seeing a deterioration in your sales, if you're seeing less volumes, you just have to work harder than the other guys.
That's it. Right? I mean, right now, you got to. That's it.
It's old school. Old school works. All the bells and whistles, all the tech, all the stuff.
Christina said the word the other day, grit.
Grit wins. Hand over hand. Grit wins over anything else. Actually, I knew a lady, and I tell this story all the time, but this lady, she had no business being a realtor. no business being a realtor. I mean, she was bad. I mean, bad. Like it hurt to
It
watch.
hurt.
Bad,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like you're having a conversation with somebody. It's like, hey, Anthony, how's it going? And you ask me a question. She would get defensive. So it's not an objection. They were just asking a question. Then she would get defensive.
Yeah.
It's almost like she just got anxiety, right? And she was bad. And then, but she had the heart and desire. She kept on going to work. She showed up to the office. She made her phone calls every single day. Incremental improvements. Before you know it, she was starting to take listings, and before you know it, she started to improve her business. Now she makes $250,000 a year.
Yep.
But she was bad. I mean, like I was very, very close to letting this person go simply because I thought this is probably not really good for the brand. But she was going so hardcore towards the business, beating her face against the business until it succumbed to her will. You have to have grit, guys. You have to have grit. If you don't have the business right now, now's not the time to build your assembly line, right? It's busy time. Right now, the sales are happening. Are they happening with you? And if the answer is no, then the only solution that you have right now is to talk to more people about listing their homes. That's it.
That comes to schedule, systems again, putting it on your schedule, when you're going to do it, having the system, which it's going to be a notebook, a piece of paper, KV Core, Mojo, Vulcan, Red X, whatever it may be. And then putting in skills. You know,
well, the very first thing, Anthony, okay, let's break this down. Let's say, okay, somebody asked us today, how do I get more listings? Okay, step one, open up your calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Schedule.
Take a look at your calendar. Okay, plug in, and this is what I usually teach people when it comes to effort into their business and their daily calendar. How many appointments do you have? Okay, do you have appointments with buyers and sellers? Do you have closing table appointments? What kind of calendar do you have right now that you're actually dealing with live appointments? Right? In order for you to be successful in real estate, you need to be putting 40 hours of effort. Not 40 hours of, I'm going to work and making a flyer for 2 days.
I got a whole concept on that, man.
Right? Okay. So you break it down, you say 40 hours of effort. And if you've got 10 hours worth of appointments, then you have 30 hours of what? Prospecting.
Yep.
Period. And if you don't, and that's your first system. Your first system is 40 hours in your calendar of activities. Yep. Right? And if you got 10 hours of appointments, you got 30 hours of prospecting. And what does that mean? That means you're time blocking out in your calendar, that you're hitting the phones in the morning from 8 o'clock until 12, and then you're going door knocking in the afternoon. And I swear to God, if you do this and you talk to 10 people a day, every single day, 20 people a day, every single day about real estate, you will be busier than you can handle. You have no idea how busy you will get. It'll take you 2 to 4 weeks to get there. And then you will be insane.
I break this, Jesus, so much. I'm trying to write notes and all, but I'll tell you, there's something that 40-hour work week. You just said it. You just worked 40 hours. Guys, everyone on this call, everyone that was a real estate agent, at some point in time worked a 40-hour-a-week job.
Yep.
Okay? You know what happened the moment you became a real estate agent? You threw that shit out the window. You crumpled up the piece of paper. You threw it out. I'm a real estate agent. Hallelujah. I got my time. I don't have any. Look, you put in a 40-hour work week in real estate. I preach this. I scream this, okay? And I beg it. Like, please. Brian Maurice is a prime example. He was a school teacher putting in more than 40, having to show up every day at school for 7 in the morning. Classroom bell rings at 8 o'clock. He had to be in that classroom. And I'll tell Brian, and I'll talk about this. I said, Brian, what happens that first time you're not in the classroom at 8 o'clock in the morning? Oh, man, that don't happen. What happens the second time? You're fine. You're a school teacher. You don't show up to class to teach those kids every damn day. You're fired. Why is real estate different? Why? It's not. But you know what? We treat it that way. Like you said, you pull out a calendar. First things first, you got to make sure you know you are the business owner. You are the owner. You're the worker bee. You're the everything in this. You got to write that down, number one. I'm the business owner. I do everything. So now what's my schedule?
That's right.
And if you choose
accountability,
if you choose to not stick to that schedule, that's your own damn fault. And I do in my one-on-one coaching clients, I used to do this, man. I'd say, hey, Dustin, right now, man, if I paid you $200,000 a year to work for me, would you? No one's told me no. Not a soul has told me no in action. I said, okay, great, Dustin, you'll work for me. I'm kind of a hard, pain in the ass boss. I'm going to make you work 10 hours a day, no lunch. Your only job is to make phone calls, set appointments, and get listings. That's your only thing. If you don't do it, and if you don't do this specific amount this week, you're fired. You lose that $200,000 salary. Okay? And guys, if you want to learn about this and you want to break the Dustin and I will do a private call to talk about this, break it down more. But essentially, if I hired Dustin for $200,000 and he did his job, and if he didn't do his job, he'd be fired, which he wouldn't get fired for $200,000 a year. I question people. I mean, right now, I know damn good and well a lot of people on this call would shovel cow shit for multiple hours a day for $200,000 a year.
Absolutely.
Okay? People right now, you would throw your real estate business out the window to shovel cow shit for $200,000 a year. Mark my word. But yet, you won't get your systems in place, your schedule in lock, and do your lead generation. Because if I hired you for $200,000, I would make $200,000 just by hiring you. I'd pay you $200,000, and I would make $200,000 because I'd make over $400,000 a year just you doing your job.
That's right.
But the crazy thing is, Dustin, when I ask people that, I said, but you won't show up 40 hours a week to make $400,000.
Yeah. Well, it's really just about it's when you're an employee kind of a space, you're dependent on somebody else to pay you, right? So now you have a fear of loss, right? You have a fear of loss. Okay, so if I don't do the job, I'm going to get fired. Now I got to go find another job and make $200,000 a year. You got that safety and security, right? So when you're an independent contractor, when you're a salesperson in real estate, you're the one that is doing the firing. So now you have a lack of personal accountability, and it's so easy for you to say, you know what, I'm not going to shovel shit today. I'm just not. I don't feel like shoveling shit. I don't like shit. It smells. It's not awesome. Right. It's backbreaking labor. I'm not sure if I really want to do that today, so I'm not going to do that.
We're blessed, man, of how much money we can make and have fun doing it. I mean, guys, we are freaking blessed.
Oh, I was talking about this yesterday. I was talking to somebody a couple that wants to join Homes and City in Mexico here, and I was like, the barrier to entry in this business in real estate to actually build a business that delivers the lifestyle of your dreams. You know, location, car, house. You know, where do you want to live? How much you vacation? How much time you spend with your family?
Yep.
You have it's unlimited potential in real estate to build a business of your dreams. But the thing is, the first couple of years are going to suck.
Oh, it does suck. This is not easy. Look, I'm sitting here saying, look, real estate is the hardest thing I've done. I was in the Army for a long time. I worked in warehouses. I worked in one of the biggest restaurants, craziest restaurants in New Orleans, that sat a couple tens of thousands of people at one time. Real estate is the toughest. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's a mind game, guys. That's what one of my agents in Atlanta told me years ago. She was like, Anthony, she goes, buyers are a physical game, sellers are a mental game. And I was like, Jesus, that's so good. Because it is. Buyers, you get out, you're showing things, you run around, but it does take such a shift to get into that seller market. That's what I see it. Badass listing agents who take a ton of inventory, you're looking at 2-3% of the agent count per market, if you're lucky.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to give you guys a little secret formula. All right. Everybody's got a law of average, right? The law of average. You guys know what that is, right? The more people you talk to, the more money you make, right? Out of 100 people that you speak to about listing a property, you're going to have a conversion level, right? Everybody's different. Anthony might convert 5. I might convert 10. Or somebody else might convert, 2 or 1. But it doesn't matter. If your conversion level is 2, and you talk to 100 people, you're going to get 2 listings, and you have a goal of setting yourself up to get 4 listings a month, every single month, then all you have to do is talk to 200 people. Yep. That's all you have to do. You break it down. Your conversions are going to be different from everybody else's. This is like a game of golf. You're only playing against yourself. You set your goal, you figure out what your conversions are, and you just talk to enough people. That's simple, right? You can be in the drive-through at Starbucks and talk about listings. You can be at the gas station, talk about listings. I have a thing called the 3-foot rule. If you can stretch your arms out like this and somebody passes within your space, you talk to their ass about listings, right? Which means that you're spending a lot of time at the grocery store. And guys, it's awesome. It's a great space to go. All you have to do is get your butt in front of people and talk about listing their property. You will land listings. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. You have a conversion level, right? You will have conversions based off 100 people. A percentage will list with you. You just have to talk to enough people, and that's it. right? But when we talked about the boss employee mentality, when we talked about, a personal accountability, you have to be the boss that sends your ass to work.
Yep.
You have to be the salesperson that is under threat of getting fired because you didn't do your effing job. You have to have that mindset, that personal accountability. If you don't, then, well, quite frankly, you deserve exactly what you got. Your existing life that you have right now, if you're unsatisfied, you have to be accountable to the fact that every single decision, every ounce of effort and energy that you put into your business has delivered what you have right now. And if you're unhappy with it, you need to change the amount of effort and what you do every single day to be able to get what you want.
Here's something to think about, guys, and I talked about this when COVID first launched with my real estate team, and they didn't have a lot of listings, and I instantly say, guys, who's the employee now? Because when you didn't have listings, you're essentially the employee.
Yeah.
Every real estate agent in your market could potentially be an employee for you, okay? And I need y'all to really think about this. Aaron Rawls said, if you haven't listened to the Aaron Rawls interview, go listen to it. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
he talked about building relationships with agents.
Yeah.
Okay, right now, if you're a buyer's agent and you're submitting offers and nothing's getting accepted, you know why? It's because that other agent doesn't know or like you, is not willing to go to bat for you.
Yep.
Huge nugget that he dropped. And then also to your lender, like Brian Maurice, when he comes on, we'll talk about the lender we used in New Orleans, Hung Lee. Brian just said the other day, he goes, dude, I got a contract, I submitted. The only reason why that contract is accepted because I know the agent, one, and two, Hung Lee knew the agent also. So that's what's great about partnering with a top lender in your market, okay? Somebody who has influence. You're building your circle, your people, and then knowing that agent. Knowing these agents. If you're not, if part of your business model is to not, if you like this, you're an independent agent, you're just completely isolated, you don't communicate with any of these people, good luck. Because I'll tell you, that's a hugely important part.
Well, we keep on saying systems, right? And then people are obviously like, well, what systems do I need? Well, a relationship system with your lender, right? Integrate them into your workflow with your lead generation and qualification process, right? Things like that. When you're dealing with offers and dealing with Hung Lee, who's willing to pick up the phone and talk to the other agent on your behalf, that's a system, guys, right? Yep, a pre-listing email package that you send out before you actually go to the appointment, setting expectations and feeding them information about the market. That's a system. Having your listing presentation, that's a system. Having your post-listing process system, right? When we say systems, we're saying just little checklists and processes that when add up, they just add up into success story and lots of listings.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
System. And it's writing it down, guys. I'm going to tell you, get a notebook. That's all you got to do. You write down on the first page, schedule, and then you write down your schedule. Okay, and then people that tell me there's not enough time in the day, I cringe.
Oh
there's too much time in the day.
Yeah, you know what? Here's another saying: busy people can always find room in their schedule, always, right? People that are not busy, always say they have no time.
Oh yeah, well, and you're not though. You think about it in your mind, you are so busy you don't have. It's just true. It's because you're literally not looking at anything. I see it time and time again. I'm so weird. People, it's like what they call the hamster on the wheel.
Yeah.
All you do is turn and turn and turn. And look, you're like, damn, I'm so busy. I'm so crazy. And then you go do that quarterly review. You're like, holy shit, I made $3,000.
Yeah.
So eye-opening. But guys, look, that's a part of you. That's back to, again, business, building the business, knowing the systems, having the schedule, and it can all be done in a damn notebook.
Oh man, like we talked about so many things. We could rock out like 50 different workshops. But you know what? Here's a little pro tip for you. If you're not making any money right now, do a time audit. Spend a week and write down every single thing that you do all day long. Do a time audit and figure out where you're wasting all of your time. Yep. Right? Because honestly, you want to make money in real estate, talk to more people. Yep. That's it. Right?
I'll
the people that right now is just talking to more people than you are.
Come jump into Mega Momentum Coaching. We'll audit it for you if you're not comfortable doing it. Like guys, I'll tell you the best thing I did in my business, okay, is hire someone for a coach. And I'll tell you, I was paying a hell of a lot more money back then than when,
I remember when I first I started building a team or I built a brokerage within a year of me, about a year and a half of me becoming licensed. So I got my license, and I'm like, oh, I sold a whole bunch of homes, and then I started a brokerage from scratch. I remember like the first 6 months it kind of sucked a little bit, and then we hired a coach, and it was $800. This was 10 years ago. It was $800 a month, and we got a half hour every week. That's it. Right?
I was paying $1,200 for a half an hour. Like,
right?
That was like 10 years ago.
But that half hour, that just lit a fire. And that was
dude, my team knew, dude.
The systems and the tools and the processes that we needed to tap into. And then over the next couple of years, we quickly grew to, we were doing within a couple of years, we were doing about $300 million worth of sales within a couple of years. Right. And that was just hiring a coach. So if you guys are looking for some coaching, if you're looking for some systems, if you're looking for audits and accountability, well, join us in Mega Momentum Coaching. We'll put the link in the comments.
Well, any questions, guys? I know we got a couple people watching. Any questions from us? We're going to wrap up in a few minutes, but I know we talked about a lot. I took notes. I took a bunch. I did. I want to talk about Mexico with you, man. We got to get on a call and talk about Mexico. I think people would be really intrigued and interested. Dustin and I are putting together not only a badass real estate team, but we're also putting together like a lifestyle system where we're helping other agents kind of live a different life. People all the time, I wouldn't say they give me a hard time. Anthony, where are you at now? Why are you moving? If you guys follow me on Facebook, as you know, I just moved to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and people ask me, why the hell you went to Hot Springs? And I say, because I can. Okay, this business has allowed me to bounce around, go do different things. And, Dustin and I are really working with a lot of great agents. And what's Bold say I went to? A life worth living, live a life worth living. That's it. And, and with the brands that we're building, the things we're doing, we're going to live where we live.
Live where you live, baby. That's our tagline. But that's not just our tagline for our customers. That's for us, right? Live where you live. And the key word is live. Man, we're working for a reason. We're not working for a paycheck. We're working for a lifestyle. We're working to be able to fund our lifestyle, right? So it's a means to an end. It's a vehicle.
And you can. Right? I mean, guys, yesterday I was the day before, I was on a mountaintop in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at 10 acres of land, and I'm like, I'm circling around, and it's like mountaintop views everywhere. And I'm like,
oh man, that's beautiful.
This is crazy. And the thing is,
yesterday I was sitting on the beach, man. I was sitting on the beach in Tulum, and the turquoise water right there. Like you can literally have the life that you want, right? We just opened up. I was talking to some people yesterday about joining Homes in City as the our international global network, right? Yep. And it was like, oh yeah, we just opened up in Italy, and they're like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Italy. I'm like, well, why don't you go to Italy and build a team and bring people into the business and get the business to pay you to stay in Italy for 6 months?
Yeah.
Right? You literally can live the life of your dreams. You can't, it's all accessible. And that's why we're so excited about real estate, because there's no barriers to entry and there's no limits you can actually achieve.
This is the first time I see agents post, and it's nothing wrong with this, man. They say, guys, what's a good side hustle for a real estate agent?
Oh.
And it's like, I replied to one the other day, take listings. It's things like that. When you start looking for other avenues, unless it's a hobby, it's just because you got some deficiency in your business, and guys will tell you, reach out to us, because I could show you a way where I had side hustles. I'm that person. People used to call me the hustler. I do it all the time. And now I have one main focus, is this business related to real estate. That's it. Because, there's almost too much to do. Right now, I have a to-do list, and Dustin's on my ass every single day. I have to get this. I have a to-do list of 30, 40 things deep. I ain't got time for a side hustle. There's no way, But the great part about this is it's not really about us. We're helping other people maintain and hit their success and goals, too. I think Christina, on the if you haven't watched the YouTube video with Christina Soya, we talk about you just always been put in this box. Guys, we're shattering the box. We're breaking that box down. It's amazing. I was just on a Clubhouse call the other day with Grant and Elena Cardone and Glenn Sanford, the owner of our company. And I was able to kind of briefly tell them, and they were like, holy shit, what the hell are you guys doing? Even Glenn said, there's something in the water with you guys down there in Louisiana.
Yeah.
We got some cool stuff we're building.
All right, guys, get your mindset straight. Get focused, get committed to your business. Right, your calendar is your best friend, and that's the very first step. If you want to make more money today, your calendar is your best friend. Reach out to us for help if you need any help. We'd love to coach you. We'd love to help you out as well. So check us out, and yeah, make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, like our channel, because we got some really, really cool stuff coming down the pipeline.
You don't want to miss it.
This panel that we're launching out is unreal. Like mega agents or mega listing agents in the seller's market. You want to know what they're up to, guys. What these guys are doing it can literally be life changing for you and your business. And they're going to share all.
And they do. What's cool about that, real quick, I know we're running out of time, but like Tammy Montgomery, for example, 100 million in volume. Yeah. Look, guys, that's insane. Like, all you need is 15 million of that. Okay? And when you have someone like they call her Mama T, which I think my description, she helps so many people, and she's going to be we're going to put her on the show a lot because she's absolutely amazing. But I mean, 100, you don't need 100 million in volume. Guys, this is not no big crazy team in no big city metropolis. If you haven't listened to the interview with Tammy Montgomery, she's in Bossier City, Louisiana. Who the hell on this call even knows where Bossier City's at? Right. 100 million in volume. All you need is 15 million. You do 15 million in sales a year, guys. You are killing it. Yeah. You're making more money than you can almost spend.
Yeah, man. Break it down. We'll help you if you need it. All right. Guys, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. Like our YouTube channel so that you can get
go on Instagram. Instagram.com/Mega Momentum.
That's right. All right. We'll see you guys on Thursday morning with some more mega agents from around the world sharing their nuggets and coffee and coaching with you. Have a fantastic day. Go crush the rest of your week. Ciao for now, everybody.
All right, guys. I need more coffee too.